It's ladies' night. It's chit-chat
Yeah,
night.
but it's usually Wednesdays.
It is. Well, last night I was so drained last night. You know,
You would be.
I was
so
drained.
How is he?
He's all right. He's laid on settee at minute. He's got his leg lifted. His foot feels a little bit swollen tonight. He says he
has not heard anything yet.
Pardon?
Has he not heard anything yet?
No, not yet. Hopefully they'll phone him tomorrow. And that meeting I thought he were in, it weren't a meeting, it was just old lads that they were sat outside room with. I thought it looked a really important meeting because they all look right serious. And it weren't, it was just old lads that they sit with. So I thought, they were going to offer him a season.
Hey, Scotty.
Hey, have you put telly on?
It's only me and my gymmies. It's only me and my gymmies tonight.
I'm sort of I'm not in a Jimmy top, but I've just got my top on.
Hey.
John Mickey Mouse. What did you say, Yo-Yo? Scotty okay? Scotty, are you okay?
Scotty, if he's
feeling
okay.
Better?
Are you feeling better, Scotty? Answer now. Quick.
Chop, Scotty, we're worrying.
Speed typing. Touch typing.
But yeah, so I think he's been on his foot too long. Feeling mostly there now, Yolanda. Thank you.
Bless you.
I think he's been on his leg too long. Even though he can't weight bear with it, when you stood up and sat down with your legs down, it's like the swelling's gone round the top of the part. But then the ankle, all his toes look really swollen. And he's just had to give himself a nice injection.
Yeah. For blood clots.
Is it for blood clots? It's a blood thinner, yeah. Yeah, he's got to, so he's just sat and done that in front of me.
In your belly.
Yeah, and I said to him, I says, I can't do that. I can inflict him pain. I just couldn't jab him with a needle.
Oh my God, right. Erin bought one of these kits and it was to test your cholesterol. My partner's got high cholesterol, so Erin went and bought these kits from Boots and said, "Here, Mum, I've got you one." I'm like, "I don't want to know." Anyway, it comes out with one of them jabbers, so it's like a pen and you jab your finger, if you're diabetic. It's like one of them, but it's obviously single use only. So I did mine, and you have to bleed into this like little exact spots. I'm bleeding everywhere. I couldn't get it in. I did eventually. So Aaron did his and he weren't bleeding. I'm saying, "You're going to have to do it again." He says, "I can't. It's only a one use." And I says, "Well, you haven't spent all that money not to do it." So I tell you what, I'll sterilise a needle. So I said, "You jab your finger." So I did. And when you do your own finger, it's like,
yes.
So obviously, do it hard enough. So I says, "Come here." So I went. And I went, oh my God. So he's bleeding, but not enough. So I'm like, "You're going to have to do it again. Pass me another finger." So then I was like, I can't do it. So I didn't do it hard enough. So then I says, "Pass me another finger." So I went that deep, could feel it, could hear it. No. It was horrible. So he's like, next day I said, "Aaron, my finger's it." And he went, "How do you think my four are doing?"
Oh, no. That's bad. That's bad. So, So can I tell him, Yo-Yo, about what you did?
Yeah.
What you said?
Yeah. If you're happy.
Yo-Yo phoned me up and she said, because obviously Yo-Yo is learning, as we're all on that spiritual journey kind of thing. And Yo-Yo's known, Yo-Yo could do it a long time ago, but then she sort of like lost her focus, would you say, Yo-Yo? You lost your...
You can tell them if you want, Lindsay. I had a mental breakdown. I thought I was schizophrenic because of the things were coming through, and I thought I'm getting schizophrenia. Yeah. So I asked them to leave me.
And they did leave her. So going through meditation and everything that we've been doing, it's sort of like opened Yo-Yo back up again. So I'm sat in house other day, yesterday, day before, and I get this phone call from this mad woman, literally mad woman. She went, listen. And I went, what? And I'm thinking, oh my God, is everything okay? That panic. She went, your dad's come through. I was like, oh my goodness. Anyway, she said, right, let me start. Anyway, she started talking. And I'm going to say what I can remember, Yo-Yo, or can you remember it all?
I listen to the crooners.
Yeah.
Perry Como, I can't think of Andy Williams, Frank Sinatra. And the reason I do that is because my dad used to listen to them to remind them of his dad.
Yeah.
So I'm having a bath. I sometimes put it on because it brings me my dad, who's thinking of his dad. So I'm lying in the bath thinking of my dad, and some lyrics came on to a couple of Perry Como songs, and Lindsay's dad was with me.
I've got the lyrics. Oh. And what did he say?
I've got goosebumps.
And I said to him, this is no good because I've seen a picture of you. I could see him, and I could see this tall, dark, handsome man, very handsome man. And I said, I can't tell Lindsay what you look like because I've seen a picture of you. And he said to me, bollocks to that. He said, I'm better looking in that picture. I was like Elvis Presley, mate. I mean, but he was having a laugh with me.
Yeah.
And hi, Michelle. And then I said, can you please give me something so that if I tell Lindsay that she knows it's you, because I know Lindsay, I've seen your picture. I need some evidence that it's you.
Yeah.
And he said, tell her material dolls, cotton dolls. And it was the material dolls. He said, it's not rag dolls with the traditional rag dolls had very long legs. This was like a rag doll, but not what you would call a rag doll with the long legs. Tell her rag dolls. And he showed me a picture. Lindsay is about 3 or 4, showed me what she was wearing and her little hand up like that. And then Elvis Presley is looking down with a big smile on his face, holding the other hand of the rag doll. Oh. And I said, so I thanked him for speaking to me. And what was the other thing, Lindsay, that he came across that was funny? Because I said, Lindsay's going to think I'm mad if I give her this information. And he said something like, oh, get on with it, woman. Stop. Go. That's it. I was telling Rob, and I said, I don't know whether. Hello, Heather. I don't know whether to tell Lindsay because I don't want you to think I'm a nutter. And all of a sudden, Lindsay's dad was with me again, and he said, for goodness sake, woman, tell her, get on with it. Just message her, get on the phone to her. But previous to that day, Lindsay had been talking to me about how she felt she wasn't achieving, and I said, I think you're frightened of losing your dad, and I don't think you will. And I said to Lindsay, and please don't anyone take this the wrong way, he thanked me for looking after her, not because I'm a hero, not at all. It's because we'd had that conversation, and the feeling I got was he thanked me for saying to Lindsay, you can do this, Lindsay, you're really good at what you'll do, but you're frightened. And he was showing relief that Lindsay knew he was always going to be there for her.
Yeah.
See, the thing wasn't going to lose him. Like I said earlier, I know I work with spirit with my tarot, but working with my tarot on a mediumship level, I'm struggling with my cards being there, and that's the blockage that I said to Yolanda. I said, I'm jealous in a way, Yo-Yo says, because you seem to have, you got that, and I can do it through my cards, but I can't do it without my cards, and this with the blockage. But the things about my dad would have come out with something like, I am better looking than Elvis. That was his characteristic in himself. It was quite a biggish character. The rag doll, Yolanda didn't think that would be, and when she said it, I had goose pimples all over. My dad's mom used to, when you used to see skips or old dolls on the floor, my nan used to go and take the heads out of the skip, take them home, and make the bodies for the dolls. She also used to make rag dolls. Now, I know they can't make them anymore, but back then they would have been the gollywog dolls and stuff like that. Well, you used to go into my nan's and she'd have a row of them all across, because in 70s, it were a different time, weren't it? Do you know what I mean? And they were different. They were all different, but that were what she got hung up. Evening, guys. Evening, Cliff.
Hiya, guys.
So that was really, really significant when she said, because to me, then not only did she bring my dad through, but she brought part of my nan through as well. Do you know?
That's amazing.
I didn't want to say anything to you but like I said to Yolanda, we've never had a conversation of
No.
my Nanan and these dolls. And even if I'd have said something, I wouldn't have said, oh, my Nanan used to make rag dolls, you know, yo. It's just not a topic of conversation. Evening, Nanny Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Nanny Lynn.
For Yo-Yo to pick up on something like that, but the words to the song, and Yolanda said, you don't read it as a love song. She went, just read it as Dad would be reading it, you know, in that connection. And the lyrics went, don't look so sad. I know it's over, but life goes on. And hang on. Don't look so sad. I know it's over, but life goes on, and this old world will keep on turning. Let's just be glad we had some time to spend together. There's no need to watch the bridges that were burning. Lay your head upon my pillow, hold my warm and tender body. And they were the lyrics that Yolanda got in her head as a message from my dad to me. Oh. Well, again, that does make things, because you know when it says looking at burning bridges, you look at the mistakes you've done and you what ifs. So the burning bridges I'm looking back at, which he doesn't want me to look back at anymore. But it was just really, really significant what she said. So it was like, woohoo, I got a message.
That's right, Yolanda. Amazing. Awesome.
It is amazing because really you do think when you get that through, you do think, no, I'm talking to myself. This is what I want to do, and I'm talking to myself.
Freak you out thinking though, someone's come to me while I'm naked in bath.
Well, yeah, that'd be my first thought. That's Lindsay's dad doing in bathroom with me.
I just thought, I tell you what I got. He's got the same sense of humour as me.
Yeah, it was very sense of humor. I would say it got a dark sense of humor about him. It got a very my dad was an all-rounder. Depending on who he was with would depend on the sense of humor.
Very dry sense of humor, I should say. Very dry sense.
I think I did, as far as I can remember, I think he did have a very dry sense of humor. Very dry sense of humor.
Elvis.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in the bath, sort of like getting this message for Lindsay, and all of a sudden I was aware I was, you know, for when you're in the bath, you're like this, aren't you, daydreaming?
Yeah.
That's the difference, you know. It's made me laugh so much.
She had a visit in bath. I know. She thought, yo.
Had a bath with Lindsay's dad.
What I said to Yolanda is, it's funny, and I can't believe I'm going to say this on air because I would never say this. But my dad compared himself to Elvis. Well, me and John were once driving in car, and Jordan was sat in back at car. Me and John were talking about something, and I just looked at him as serious as a face can get, and I went, "Don't know what you're talking about. You've got a 10 out of 10 anyway." Do you know what I mean? And it was that when Yolanda said that brought that link in, and I just started laughing because I thought, Jesus. You know,
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
It was really, really funny. So I'm so grateful. I hope you're all right, Danny Lynn.
I hope you're all right, Danny Lynn.
But so it was like, oh my God, he compares himself to Elvis, and I compare myself to a 10 out of 10. Like father, like daughter, really. You know what I mean? But yeah, no. But I don't mean 10 out of 10 in looks. It was personality side and everything that went with that. John's got the whole package. At that point, he had anyway. So it honestly.
I mean, at that point, he had John.
I'm not. Yeah, but I'm decrippled now, aren't I? I'm sort of like I can't do anything. So
meaning not 10 out of 10.
No. But healing tonight went really well. Fantastic. Honestly, Lana, when you come over, I know Michelle's going to come to Ealing with us when she comes up. Lana, you're coming to Ealing. Claire, I know you're working, and I know it's a struggle for you to get because it's like a 7:30 start. But one Thursday when you have a quietish day, I will say you never have a quietish day, but you know what I mean. You're going to have to come across for Ealing.
I'll have to work out how far it is from work and see how long it takes, and just get changed before I'll not have time to come home for a wash or anything.
That's
So,
all right. Don't worry.
It's a mouthwash.
So was this at the Spiritualist Church?
Yeah.
Oh, it seems like it's an amazing place.
Oh, honestly, Lorna, it's just.
I can't wait to go there.
It's fun. You're gonna. Do you know when you walk in, you're gonna say, "I'm moving to Chesterfield."
Probably. I've been everywhere else.
Yeah, but that's going to be what you say. You're going to say, "Do you know what? I'm going to go home. I'm going to tell our Ola, and I'm going to tell our Xantha, and then I'm going to tell her about Johnny. We're moving to Chesterfield, and they're going to move with me."
Hi, Kaz.
But
Hi,
evening,
Kaz.
Kaz.
But where were them statues that you posted, Lana?
Sorry, love?
Where were them statues that you posted? They looked awesome.
They're not far from me. His workshop is literally, I think it was about half an hour's drive away.
Do we know the name of the bloke that we're talking about?
Ray Lonsdale.
That's it. Just tell them about statues. Because you talked about statues and everybody's going to say, statues?
I know, they were awesome though. They were like, wow.
Well, it would be better to show some pictures, but...
see. Is it on your page, Lana? It is, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. If you scroll down a little bit. But the scale of them are...
A day off, Claire. I wish I could.
Absolutely phenomenal. And the thing is, the way that he poses, he has the poses of the people.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he's in the background.
They're massive. You see a person, don't you? You can see how big they are.
Yeah.
They're just
He's in the background and you can just see his head.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, the factory units, they almost reach the ceiling. But he does quite a lot of
amazing.
like miners and, you know, Second World War, First World War kind of statues. And they kind of dotted all over the place. But people have treated it like a trail now. So they have a list. He's put a list of his statues on his page and the postcodes. So people can go from one to another.
Have a look.
We'll have to see if we've got any locally or within some
I think he's got some in Yorkshire, you know. I think his business is called Two Red Rubber Things or something like that.
Two Red Rubber Things. That's what I'm looking. I'm thinking that's not his business, is it? But yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. But the thing that he's doing at the moment, he literally has this wooden stake in the middle of his unit. It's got like sort of pieces coming out from it. And he's doing this, I think it's Second World War. And the council required this for a town close by. And he's done the head, the body, the legs, and he's missed the arms off. And he kind of, where the hollows are for the arm sockets, he's put that on a post because these sort of things that come out from it can heighten it or lower it. So whatever bit he's working on, which it looked like he was working on the legs, he's kind of hooked this, the body of the actual soldier further up so he can do that. It's amazing to see. And I only saw the head and the torso.
Yeah.
So he's really got on with it.
Wow.
Nanny Lynn, John's doing okay. A bit sore, resting up. Well, when I say a bit sore, I mean a lot sore. But he's resting. He's laid on to tea behind me. I don't know. I think he's half asleep, half awake. I told him to stick his leg up behind me to show, and he went, I'm not putting my toes on camera. It's just I think we've been mobile and on his stakes. I will. Nanny Lynn sends the love. We've been mobile on his stakes. Obviously your leg's down and it's swollen anyway. So I think because he has done quite a bit of walking around today.
Well, goes downwards, doesn't it?
Hopping around because because he's new onto sticks, he's not got in that rhythm yet of the swing hop, as you call it. Because
it's harder than what it looks like. I tried it.
John said that. He says he started doing it, and then as soon as he stopped, he couldn't get back into doing it. But his arm he's not used to, his arms aren't used to carrying his body either.
No.
So you've got that added weight of the arms walking on. I mean, I say it's one of the worst things you can do is walk around with on sticks anyway, but it's so uncomfortable when you're on it. But I said earlier, I says, do you know, I says, this is like, Yolanda said, this is part of your spiritual journey, this. I said, because it's like, John cares for me. So you get to a point, don't you, where you appreciate him, but I might have forgot how to appreciate or show appreciation. And John doesn't know where I am when I'm saying I'm feeling this way or that way. And again, he'll lose appreciation for me because it's like, do you know what I mean? And I said, it's as though as roles have been switched.
Yeah.
And we're like, got to learn something from each other. You know, we've got to learn that appreciation of coming back. But I wasn't going to ask for any help off anybody. I was just going to plod along, and we picked Bex up tonight, or we pick up to go to church. And I said to Bex, she says, are you all right? I went, oh yeah, we're fine. You know, you're fine. And then I looked at her and she went, and gave me this cock at head, and I went, no, I'm not. I says, I was going to wait while tomorrow. I says, and then I'm going to talk to Yo-Yo. And she says, don't you dare wait while tomorrow. You speak to Yo-Yo. And I said, Claire's coming up tomorrow. I said, so I know I'm all right with Claire coming up, do you know? And then Yolanda's going to come up later on in afternoon for us. And it was like, we are struggling because I'm in agony because of my back. I've been, and as John, do you know, I used to say to John, oh, you can't just get me this, can you? Go off, I've just sit down. Do you know what I mean? Or I'll say, oh, I need a drink. Well, he's got his own back on me today. I'll tell you now.
You've been up and down.
He sat down and he said, oh, I've left such and such upstairs. Well, they're my words. So I've said, just give me a minute and I'll go up and get it. Then I made a cup of tea. And John's a really he loves his tea. He could constantly drink tea all day. Whereas I don't mind having odd cup, and that'll be me done. And he'd finished his cup of tea and he went, oh, I've got a dry throat. Well, that's what Al said to him, you know, if I'm thirsty. I was like, I'm dying. And so then he said, I'm only messing. I don't want a cup of tea. But I know he does want a cup of tea, but he was saying he didn't want a cup of tea, so I didn't get back. So then I've had to get back up and make another cup of tea. When we're going to bed, I'm having to, all right, I mean, I know it's only these, but I've got to get myself upstairs. I've got to get 2 of these upstairs. Yeah. I've got to get all his medication upstairs. I need both my hands to get upstairs because I have to use the banisters to pull me up. So it's sort of like a little bit higgledy-piggledy at the minute. Nanny Lynn, I'm good for us. So I wasn't we wasn't coping.
Can't you fetch your kettle into the living room? I
said that to John. I might bring kettle into the living room, but then, like John said,
get some long life milk. Get some long life milk. Get some long life milk that doesn't need to go in the fridge.
And bring kettle in. We might do, but on Sunday we're having grandkids. Jacob's 6, Noah's 2, 2 coming up 3, I think. And I can't let Ashley down on having kids because it's been planned. But she'd phoned me a couple of weeks back saying about she'd got to go to work. And could I have kids? And I've not had them for a long time, Jacob and Noah. So I want to have them. I mean, luckily for Jacob, he's able to. If I get some drinks in, and I get my mum to either cook or tell Ashley to cook dinner, they can have a sandwich for the tea. Do you know? So a flask could help. We've got some flasks, Michelle, and we get a teas made. Well, John said instead of bringing kettle in, he says we've got this coffee thing what my mum bought us. You know, that Timissio or something. We've got them. So John says we'll bring that in room. I says me on coffee all day. I says, Jesus, that's just like asking for trouble.
That's Lindsay going live every night.
Oh, he says we've got hot chocolate.
Oh.
So Claire, when you come tomorrow, your tea's made, love.
I know, and tea's made at home and pot washer and everything else, and gardener and cleaner.
Exactly. But if you want a drink tomorrow, it's make your own. Oh dear, but yeah. So Lindsay will be going live at 4 a.m. on coffee. Not many.
That's not good hosting, that is it? Really?
You know, that'd be on that. You know, if I were on
don't mind.
Can you
I do not mind.
I'll be messaging everybody going, we're going live 4 o'clock. Well, I know Yolanda will be awake at 4-ish. I know Lana might be awake at 4-ish.
Yes.
Claire at a push could be awake at 4-ish. Oh, bless you, Nanny Lynn. I know, my lovely. It's just that there's I think there's 2.5, 3 hours drive between us. But the worst thing is we haven't got any beds up in the house because Jordan had put their bed up. So we took our double bed out. We've got it in garage and we've got the mattress all in a sealed bag in garage. So the only bed we've got now is a child's bed, which is probably about the same size as this desk in length. So no, an adult couldn't sleep in that. So there literally is nowhere. So but we'll get it. So hopefully it won't be for long, and John will get his pot on.
But I'll be coming round at lunch times.
Yeah, Yolanda's going to come round at lunchtime for us and stop for a bit and stay for tea. Don't forget you're staying for tea.
Is that a hint that you're cooking tea, Yolanda?
Yeah.
I'm very good at opening an oven and throwing a ready meal in.
That'll be good. We'll just live on chips.
Yeah.
We can have chips and we'll do chicken in fryer.
What's this we?
Well, it's the royal we, isn't it? It's a royal we.
Yeah.
Stay for tea. You're making it. Yeah.
Well, we had a really interesting. I've always had a thing about communication. And we had a very interesting conversation, Lindsay and me, because I've got the hump with her because she's saying that she's struggling, and I said I've offered. I'm not offering any more. You keep saying no. And she said, Claire's coming round tomorrow. Oh, well, fuck you then. And we'll say no. We were sitting inside, I think.
I'm going round tomorrow, but I'd arranged to go round tomorrow before this was done.
I said that too. I said we'd done that.
I said, the thing is, I've got the females in my family were horribly matriarchal. They were bossy, interfering, and all the men in my family were gentle giants. Instead of telling them to knob off.
Knob off.
And I thought, I'm never going to be like that. I'm never going to be like that. So when I offer help, if Lindsay says no, thank you, well, I'm not offering again then because
we went round and Yolanda said,
why
she says, do you want
help?
Go
round?
oh, no, we're all right.
When I broke my wrist, I've got all these women in my family saying, well, I'll come round, sit down, do that. Why is this there? You do know this was kept there. It would be much better. And I thought, well, maybe they're frightened of that presence in the house of somebody doing that. So I just accepted, they didn't want it. But anyway, I started to get the hump with them, and I said, look, I'll come round and I'll stay the night. And then I thought, actually, because I said I'm going to sleep on the sofa. And then I thought, actually, because I go jogging in the morning, I might disturb them. Until 11 in the morning.
11 o'clock she goes jogging till.
So we thought, well, actually, that could be inconvenient because if either John needs a sofa or Lindsay wakes up at silly o'clock.
You're fast asleep on it.
I'm fast asleep on the sofa. It could make it worse. So we've decided that I'll go round at lunchtime and stay until around midnight or whatever. And
and do it
Work
that
it out
way.
that way.
So yeah.
Lindsay, never be too proud to ask or accept
No,
help.
I don't think it's not that you're proud to ask for help. True friends will never ask for help. I need help, but never ask. I know. But I think what it is I don't want Yolanda. I know Yolanda has plans, you know.
Yeah, you don't like putting on people,
No,
Sam.
it's that I don't want
I
Yolanda's
don't
life
like
to
to do
stop
that.
because
I don't either.
yeah, do you know what I mean? And it's like you're
I
trying
don't
to
think you understand, Lindsay.
And in
So
other
what-
words, Yolanda basically just told me to fuck off. She's coming round.
But the thing is, Lindsay, it doesn't matter because I might have plans, but they're no plans that can't be put on hold until the next. You know, I haven't got a hospital appointment. I haven't got to go and get children into school. All my plans are do what I want when I want.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm in a very fortunate position.
Well, you're not anymore, are you? I'll have my bell. John wanted that bell tonight.
No, I've been going through that. Did John tell you about that box of
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you.
that I've got that a friend's gave me from metal detecting?
Yes.
A lot of it's crap.
Wow.
I found a little bell. I'll fetch it.
You're joking.
Is it all?
I'll let her tell you about what it's like. A little treasure trove. Honestly, it's like a little treasure trove. A chove. What's a chove? Oh dear.
Do that. Oh,
That's sweet. That's like a little cowbell.
yeah.
Isn't it?
No cowbell.
Oh, it's not. No.
It's like off a kid's rattle. That.
Yeah.
There's a bigger one.
It's metal.
So, tell us about this metal detector.
Yeah, so a friend, he goes metal detecting. He's found, obviously he's kept everything of worth. And he just says, here, there's a box full of stuff there if you want to go through it. So I found a lot of interesting things. Now, nothing's valuable, but interesting. I find it very interesting what I have found. I'm going to fetch it over tomorrow because there's loads of stuff that I'm not sure what it is.
Look at this.
Just like this, you can't read what it says. It's really hard. See that piece of metal?
Yeah.
What? That looks like it goes around a bottle, doesn't it?
So on that, we've managed to find out what it says, or it relates to. I could make out Thomas. I could make out Thomas, and I could make out Surrey, and it looked like Rotherham, and I could make Dock. So find it. It's Thomas Burrow, carver of St Mary, Rotherhithe, Surrey, and it says will of Thomas Burrow, can't say it now. Burrow, carver of St Mary, Rotherhithe, Surrey, date 3rd of June 1786.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
To like the guy that found it, it's a piece of shit. To me, that's history.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm just like a kiddie in a sweetie shop, just going
I wonder
through all
what
this.
it's doing on, Claire. What do you think?
To make it out now that it says that, you know. So
I wonder what it come on. I wonder if it were like a bracelet, you know, like a.
Yeah, because it like goes round.
Claire. Now, if it had a chain going on, no.
It's got a curve, hasn't it?
Yeah,
It's got
that's
a
what
curve
reminded
to
me
it.
of things that went on bottles. You know, a chain on each side that would go
Yeah.
around a bottle.
Well, Jamie said name tag. I wonder if it were like a name tag on like a suit, you know, like on a.
I don't know. It's really obviously everything's metal because it's from a metal detector.
Yeah.
I just don't know
Nanny
what it
Lynn,
is.
take care, sweets.
Night, Nanny Lynn.
Good night, darling. It's old. It's
Over 200 years old. That's brilliant.
It looks like it'd be on a machine to me. It could be on a machine.
It could.
Could be on a trinket. You know, like
tourniquet's coming up.
Go on. What else?
This one is
goodie bag.
This one we've worked out is an old Roman coin. You can't see it very well.
Oh, I'd love to find one of those.
No,
old Roman coin.
Oh, wow.
This
I'll let her
one
take pictures. She
is.
took a few pictures, but I'll let her
I think
take some
this is
pictures
a-
and permanent members.
I think this is the commemorative coin. It's got Queen Victoria, the day that she got on the throne.
Wow.
Oh, amazing.
I want a metal detector.
I want to go. I've only got a cheap
I
one.
do. I want one now.
I want a metal detector.
This you can't see anything on it because it's tacky, but it's really weighty.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure what that
Julian.
one is.
Hey, Julian.
And then there's a lot of these. Oh, look at
Thank
this.
you,
I mean,
Julian. I can't see him
look
when
at
we're on
that.
StreamYard. Sweets.
Oh, what is it?
It's like a little teapot. It's like a magic lamp.
Oh, it
Tea
is.
lamp.
It's a
Have you
magic
given
lamp.
it a rub?
No, not yet. I
Oh,
need to wash my hands now.
Even John.
It's a metal lamp.
Hey, could be a genie in that lamp. Don't rub it.
hey.
I know.
Me and my brother are going
And then
to
there's
metal
these. I can't work out what these are, and you'll not be able to see what it says on them. But they're really thick, and they do have writing on them.
Oh.
Wow.
One of them says 1805 on it.
How
Is
do you
that
think
Again,
metal,
nearly-
coin?
Claire? Is it metal?
They're all metal because it's all they're all metal detector.
It looks like it was joined with something. It's got like a
Yeah.
knot,
I'm
hasn't it?
wondering if it was a seal or something.
Yeah.
It's so unreal.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
There's like little like muskets, you know, from like guns and stuff.
Wow.
There's also,
But do you know what you can
Yeah.
do with that, don't you? Claire?
like I said, what's that?
You know what you can do with that, don't you?
Go on. I don't need to
Pendulum.
ask.
Pendulum.
Ah. But yeah, there's I mean these are I've got some cleaner ones, but these are like you know, old pennies.
Yeah.
If you can see it.
Oh.
Can just see Ed on there. You can just see outline it like Ed coming on there.
Yeah.
Bag seals they are, says
But
John.
those are like
Yeah,
I wondered if they were bag seals.
That's what John's put on. He's put bag seals they are.
Oh.
I'm going to say this wrong. I think it's livery buttons.
Or
Got
livery.
some livery. Yeah, I think it's livery because Mum laughed at me when I said livery. And if you can see the
Oh wow, they're cute.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
They do
You
look
know
like
that
livery
metal one
buttons.
with Nad, because John's in. Just put that metal one, though that one with his name on.
It's I've shown John that one.
Oh, have you shown John that? Not my John. John who's just coming to chat. Only because if he knew what that one were, he might know what that is. It's actually got writing on that,
It
John.
does curve. It does curve round.
But it's got a
It
gentleman's
has got
name on.
description on. Yeah, it's got his name on and where he's from.
What's on the back, Claire? At either
Nothing.
side?
Nothing.
It looks
It's
like
just
it
like
was joined
yeah,
to
you've got
something.
like two things as if they'd be joined onto something.
Yeah.
But then it's
Yeah.
got his name on and it's got thingy
And
on.
it's
So,
You see
yeah.
there, is that better angle?
Yeah.
It's like it had been joined onto something.
And yeah, because it doesn't go through to the front.
No.
No, it's on the back. I can't
That's
pronounce
right.
this one. It's KWN, and then it's German. MU with the lines above. NZPRUFER. Mundsprüfer.
Mundsprüfer.
And it's a miscellaneous token from Federal Republic of Germany.
Oh.
Wow.
See if I can get it out. I've
Cliff's
stapled them
put,
in.
was it was it a tag that was on an old boot, maybe?
And that's that German one,
Possibly.
the old like token. I don't know if you can see it.
Do you know, it's like
hard.
it's like a little treasure trove, isn't it?
It is.
And like I say, it's credit to him, but I'm just finding it so. This one's Knots Miners Association badge.
Oh wow.
Got like an S in it.
And
Yeah.
what's that? A miners association badge.
Yeah, Knots Miners Association badge.
Oh.
Wow.
It's all history. There's a half penny, George III, 1805 in that one.
Oh.
Netherlands 1
I'm
gulden.
not even pronouncing that. Is that Pfennig penny?
Pfennig. That's an
Pfennig.
old coin.
Penny.
Pfennig penny. Yeah.
George the 6 is that? 1944 sixpence. George the
Yeah.
3 half penny. Another button. It's got like a lion and a crown. I don't know if you can make it out.
If it's got a lion and a crown, I wonder whether that's like somebody's coat or arms, maybe somebody's stamp.
They made loads of different buttons. So yeah, like I said, just things of interest.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Have you ever thought
And
of
there's
doing
a tough bulb. I mean, a lot is crap, but and I'm finding these bits that I'm thinking,
finding
they're
bits
interesting.
out?
They're interesting.
Have you looked the history up on the name that you've got?
No, I pulled it up, but I've not managed to actually go into full history of him yet.
Right, because
I'm not
that'd be
sure.
interesting. Do you know, before you do, use your pendulum and write down everything that comes through on pendulum.
Well, I was going to fetch it over tomorrow with me.
That'd be
We
interesting.
could do something.
Yes, that'd be interesting. We could put Alice box on its side of that. And maybe
we could do something with it. I just need to go wash my hands because this
I
tomorrow
know you'll smell the metal. I know. Hey, Joe. That's one thing I hate smell of is metal. The tag could be from a joinery box, possibly.
Oh, wow, look at that.
All them gadgets.
Mum says she used to have 2 of these brasses.
Oh, wow.
And these are what is found in ground.
Yeah. There's all sorts in here.
That looks like one of them brass things that come off. Remember, my nan used to have them, and they were like 3 horseshoe.
Like the horse brasses on their livery.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's all sorts, honestly.
Scotty's put
It's
Claire,
all
I'm jealous. Oh, what's that? Hold that up again. Well, that's metal.
It's right there.
Do you know? I'm going to say that. I thought that way then. I thought it was one of them stones. You know,
No, it's all metal.
It looks stone from here, doesn't it? It doesn't look metallic.
It did look like a stone.
Yeah.
My mum thinks this one's like an old weight off her scale.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
But yeah, there's and this one, I mean, can't
I can see that comment you've put up, Gillian. I can't see any what you've put up before, sweets.
You can't see anything, but obviously you can see that it's got metal inside it there.
Oh,
But
yeah.
look at the edges. It's like shaped like a 50p piece, kind of. It's got like that
It's
hexagon type of shape.
Yeah,
It's heavy.
I can't see what it is. It's really heavy. Yeah, I mean, that's like an old penny if you see its size.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, it's really heavy.
I want to get one now.
I know. The thing is, you need to have a good one, don't you? This is when you do it meditating.
Here you are, because he knows I'm interested in this kind of stuff. Here you are, take that because he knows it's not valuable. But to me,
it's valuable, though, isn't it?
It's not about the money for me. It's like, oh my god. I'm gonna wash my hands.
Yeah, go and get wet, you scrub. But Lindsay, I have got a light colour changer on Buttes. I have. But I mean, stuff like that. I mean,
can you imagine if that was his family, that one that's over 200 years old, the engraved curved thing, and some family member. If somebody somewhere and it was your family.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
It would.
Do you know, Scotty, we're going to change page. We're going to call it Metal Detecting Group.
Exploring the metal detecting.
They are, Cliff. Lovely finds, aren't they? I definitely want one. I want a metal detector. We're laughing and joking because there's certain places where you go and you're not allowed to use metal detectors.
You see, I would go to the park, you know, where the castle is.
Yes.
That's like it started off.
You may not be allowed when you look online.
I don't think I will.
Exploring the dirt.
And I said to John, well, what we'll do, I says, you'll have to invent one. And you know, under the scooter, that detector under the scooter, And
beep
then
as you're going along.
yeah, and then as I'm going along, I'll just beep, and if anybody looks, I'll pretend I've like thingied. I says, and then we'll just have to get a spoon or something and just start digging with a spoon in grass. But I've just got such a. But I said to you, I like thingy fishing as well.
Magnet fishing. I'd like to do that.
Because magnet fishing is exactly the same as metal detecting, but it's in water.
I'd like to do that.
And you throw your magnet.
Yeah, I'd like to do that too.
And I said to John, there's a canal in Chesterfield, and there's all different parts at canal. I mean, there's a canal in Sheffield, but the Chesterfield one looks a really nice canal. And I said I wouldn't mind. Obviously, we're going to have to put that on hold a minute now, but I wouldn't have minded going to canal one day and just spending a couple of hours there. And
I can push John in the wheelchair.
Put camera
You've got a
on
wheelchair,
that.
haven't you?
You what, Doug?
You've got a wheelchair. I'll push John in the wheelchair. Stick a rod in his hand. He can look like a little garden gnome.
It would, wouldn't he? He would look like a gnome.
I've got a metal detector, but it's only a cheap one. It's not that good. I'd love to go out with a proper one.
Never know. Scotty's done magnet fishing a couple of times.
For me, it's not value. It's not like, oh my God, look how much this is worth. It's like, oh my God, this is history.
Yeah.
Horrible when your magnet gets.
Have you found something then, Claire? Did you find
magnet stuck to
not
it?
found anything? No.
I know.
Not yet, but you've got to be so excited when you're
taking it in.
Oh my God, it's a bottle top.
It's no good Claire going somewhere she's not meant to be because they'll hear her.
I know they will. I know they would. They'll hear her. But I'll tell you where it is where you're not allowed.
Yeah,
to
I'll fetch you this.
You're not allowed to use a metal detector in the woods in Birmingham. You know where black-eyed children are seen?
Are you not?
You're not allowed to use a metal detector in there at all. Full stop.
Yeah.
There's signs. There's I think there's stuff online that and it says you're not. If found, you can be prosecuted.
I know when I went to. Do you remember when I went to Morecambe? I forget the island. We drove all the way around it about an hour and a half to the other side of it.
Hey,
and we went across the island with the pub on it and the castle. And it said there was a sign there saying no metal detecting.
Yeah.
I mean, obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But I don't know why you would be able to do it in them woods.
Yeah. No, night hawking, that's called.
Oh, I want to be a night hawker. That sounds fabulous, doesn't it? Exploring with the night hawkers.
Exploring with, hey, that's a great. Yolanda, you've just given, so you best create a page called that now, you silly woman, because you've just given somebody a page name.
Yeah.
So tomorrow morning, when I get up, you best have created a page called, night hawking.
Diana.
Night hawkers.
Yeah,
get some t-shirts printed up, Lindsay.
Exactly. Get a page created. Scotty, get a page created.
I like Scotty's name, Exploring the Dirt. I thought that was good.
Yeah. Cliff put, not allowed to metal detect heritage buildings or council land.
Oh, well, that's the park out.
Yeah, but thing is, if there's no signs and you go in, you don't look online, do you? Do you know what you want to do? You want to take Arlo.
Yes. He'll find some shiny things. He's great with shiny things.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you take a kid and somebody comes up and says, hey, you know, you say, oh, he's only 4.
He's the spade Arlo.
Arlo, we can't do it here.
So can you only go on private land then? Can you only metal detect on private land?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of people. I mean, you've got them you've got them combing beaches. You've got. I mean, you see it all the time. I mean, even around here, we've had some.
On beach. I took it on Filey Beach. I didn't find out, but I took it on Filey Beach.
Well, there's a lot of people, isn't there, that they'll find rings, like engagement rings and wedding rings on beach, where people have gone with sand under the fingers, and they don't realise that when the sand gets under your ring, it sort of like starts moving your ring off your finger. And then once you've lost that in sand, or how many people have took the rings off because in sun your fingers swell and you think, oh, I'll just wrap them up in edge towel, but then kids are running past and sand comes over. And you know, it's but I think it's amazing.
I have to get out in the garden.
What if you found an old World War II unexploded bomb?
They have. But they found them.
Yeah.
You know, if you look on YouTube, on fishing ones, if you put in fishing magnets, there's a couple of them where they've actually pulled out bombs from canal, and they've not exploded. They didn't explode when they landed. And what they have to do very carefully, I think they have to leave the magnet attached to it, because if you pull the magnet, it could blow up.
Oh,
And you have
can
to
you
pull it
imagine?
to the side, and then you have
My
to
luck that first time out,
phone.
find a bloody bomb.
Yeah, well, that'd be our luck. But
Oh.
then you have to phone police up and tell them they have to bring bomb squad. And then what they do is they take it to a piece of land nearby, and they set it off. It's fantastic. But the thing is, you know, if one of them went off underwater, like you were fishing and one went off, it'd take off at Bangkok. Or not much of it, because the bombs. I'm not saying they weren't powerful back then. They were, but it'd make a big dint where canal were and path. Do you know? Somebody could get hurt if one went off. But yeah, leave magnet attached, or don't put your life. Don't
But put your life at risk.
Put in a bucket of water and call police. That's it, Scott. That's what you got. I knew there was something that you've got to do. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I just think it's fantastic. I'm always up for putting a stocking over their head and night hawking, LOL. But if we get caught, it's jail time. You never know, you might find coins and such. It's such a fantastic hobby. Fantastic hobby to do, but I am going to create something that I can put under the scooter, so when I'm going,
even with that, you know, with his name on it, like I say, it's no use to anybody but me.
I need somebody that's got like a scientific mind that can.
You're going to be beeping everywhere, Lindsay.
Yeah, but you know, we could get somebody that's like an inventor, and it could invent me. Get in touch with me if anybody out there is an inventor. Get in touch with me, and you can invent me. You can turn my mobility scooter into a magnet detector, a metal detector, and you could even have like one of them fold-out spoons. So when it detects, it'll do its own digging. They can't shoot me, John, if they can't see me. I'm brought down in the middle of a farmer's field.
Or shoes, maybe magnet detecting shoes. I know magnet detectors are big, aren't they? You'd have to design a new shoe fashion, wouldn't you?
Well, you could.
Shoes.
You know, when you
walk
think
along
about
in them
it,
like that.
To the spot.
We'll start a new fashion. The Nighthawker's shoes. Put jelly over them.
Oh, God.
You do see a lot of people fishing with magnets, because it's such a family thing, and there is no law.
I've never done it.
Do you know, Equibus, when I first saw Lindsay, I was on YouTube, and I first saw Lindsay talk about this magnet fishing. I think it was on her drive home, and I thought, is she mental? There aren't any metal fish. What sort of metal fish are there? I've got fishing. I said, what's magnet fishing? And she told me what it was. I thought there was some unknown species of metal fish I've never heard of.
Oh, dear me.
I wonder if we could magnet fish with an electromagnet. That way, easier to get your magnet back if you got it stuck on something heavy. But only issue would be the power supply. It would be, Scotty. It would be. I mean, the only thing is, when they were 1 hour watching, and they've got a motorbike, and they've chucked the magnet in, and they were, I mean, it took them ages to pull it, literally hours. I mean, they've got people walking past them on bank that they were telling to come and grab.
And in end, they pulled out, and it was this motorbike, and it were like, oh my God. I mean, obviously it's no good, it's been underwater. But it were like, Jesus. But I'll tell you what, they don't realise what's in water, do you?
You don't. I mean, there's some, and they've found, you know, like when houses have been raided, you know, like the jewelry boxes, they've actually found the jewelry boxes. They've found safes, that the safes have actually, the safes are still, it's where kids have robbed them and they can't open them. So they just throw them into thing. Everything's spoiled inside, but there might be jewelry in there, and even though it's going to be waterlogged and everything else, it's somebody's property. Do you know? So some people do eventually can get back. The only thing I know you've got to do also is if when you're magnet fishing, if you find a knife or a gun, and I don't mean like a cutlery knife. I mean a knife, especially when you're doing it over bridges, because sometimes when people have committed crimes as they're going up bridges, they throw it off. And again, you have to get in touch with police because
you don't want to touch it either, do you? In case there's any DNA still on it.
Arquebuses put aluminium and iron are my favourite fish you land on.
With a nice portion of chips or French fries.
Hey, dear.
I knew you were writing omega-3, but not iron.
That copper taste is horrible. Oh God, the copper taste is horrible. If you find a gun, then you've a call to the police. Then upload a YouTube video, murder weapon found. Not like clickbait title, is there? Murder weapon found. I found a knife. I mean it's all good fun. I think it's all good fun, and I think we all need to find some things to do his time on, you know. And one good thing with magnet fishing is anybody can do it. It doesn't matter what I'm going to say ailment, but whatever's going off with the body. It doesn't matter because you can get different size magnets. So like the one we've got, I can throw it in or John has to throw it and then I have to sit and pull it. But I have to make sure that I'm sat down because I can't stand up because it's the bending over and the pulling. So I have to sit down and make sure. So it's a performance when we go, but it's worth it. But I could get a little diddy magnet and throw that out. It will still pick something up. It might just pick knives and forks up, but
have you found anything, Lindsay?
Not really. We did it on Broads, and the only things that you found on Broads were like weights, you know, fishing stuff. You might get a couple of fishing, or you might even get the hooks, the fishing hook. But I mean, on Broads it's different. But the thing is, on the Broads, you forget that there's people that we once saw a bloke lose his wedding ring in water, because he was sat twizzling it like that. On end of boat, and he went like that, and it like twizzled off, and it fell in, and he lost his wedding ring. And it's like. You wouldn't be, I don't think they'd pick gold. I mean, you could probably get some that do pick gold and silver and everything else up. But again, I think it's just, I'd love to find, it's like what Claire's found there, you know, the world, like going back to 1700s and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I know for Broads, to be honest, I think a lot of places have been done though. But the thing is, what you've got to realise is that if you were doing it on Broads, really, the best place to do it would be Akelbridge, or down towards Yarmouth, because that's where the sea's coming in. So if there's anything that's floating in sea or tide can bring it in, that's your best bet where you could possibly do it is probably around there. But again, you'll get bits of bikes, you'll get bits of stuff, what kids have just thrown in and stuff. But yeah, water destroys most stuff. It does definitely. I won't go diving. Jesus, imagine me in a wetsuit. If I farted, I'd look like that one that goes around YouTube where you just this big round black thing.
I remember when I went scuba diving in Cyprus, and oh my God, the weight of it, the weight of the suit and the breathing equipment. I was walking hunched over. It was that heavy.
Oh, goodness.
But then you get in the water and it's just like, obviously there's no weight. It's just amazing. And then you get back out and it's like, oh my God.
I won't be able.
It's so heavy. The tank and everything. Yeah, it was just really heavy.
I'd have a panic attack.
I didn't think I could do it because I can't even like walk in sea. I don't do anything around my legs. You know, them little fishes. Oh no.
I don't do fish.
I don't.
Fish
Shut up.
poop.
But it wetsuit, it felt like I'd got an extra layer of skin. I felt so protected, and it was just the different coloured fish were awesome, absolutely amazing.
John did it. Well, excuse me for yawning. John did his. He went to Egypt and he did his diving
Yeah,
license.
like I say, the wetsuit, you feel like protected. It's like I say, you've got this extra thick piece of skin.
Could you, Lana, could you do it?
It were awesome.
No. Yo-yo?
I couldn't hear. Sorry, Lindsay, what did you say?
Would you go diving?
No, not at all.
Deep sea diving.
Petrified of it.
I think for me, quite honest, do you know you've got balls of steel?
Awesome. It was awesome. I didn't think I could do it, but oh god, I'm so glad I did it.
I'm even having a panic attack thinking about that mask on my face now at this moment in time. I'm like, you just wouldn't breathe, would you?
No, honest to God, it was awesome. I mean, obviously,
Lindsay.
this guy don't go through equipment with your face. They just don't like throw you in water and say off you go.
No, I know it's all done properly.
I remember parachute jump
like signals and stuff, like because I remember I got hear it, because of pressure. So I was like, so I knew to take me up a bit till I got it back settled, and then went back down.
Yeah. Well, somebody once told me that your snorkels that you get where you put it in your mouth and you've got that little pipe coming up. Somebody once told me you can breathe underwater with them, right? Well, technically you can breathe underwater.
Above.
Yeah, but they didn't tell me snorkel had got to be above. And I nearly choked on seawater, so I never snorkeled again because somebody said you could breathe. You have to breathe in, you breathe, but obviously as I've breathed in, I were underwater. I mean, I were only a kid.
So you put your head in, but the snorkel bit is that's where your air comes in.
Yeah, but I didn't realise that because they said you could do it underwater, but they meant me underwater and not the snorkel. And it was like, but yeah.
Filled your lungs with water.
Did seawater. People's wee. That's what's in sea. People's wee. Now, I don't know how many times you see it. Even I do it actually. If we're on beach and I'll say to John, I need toilet, and they're like, why don't they have toilets on beach fronts? And I mean on the sand, a brick building where there's a toilet or something. Or even just have carrier bags that you could dig an hole in sand, do your business, wrap it up, and then have a bin specially for it, but they don't. So I'd said to John, it would be on beach and it was right hot, and we were in Galston in Norfolk, and we were on beach, and it were a right walk back to where toilets were. I says, I can't hold my pee anymore. I says, but I can't just sit in sand and pee. I says, I'm going to go into water. I says, and I'm going to fall. Oh, dear. Well, with our Ollie had done that when she was younger. She said she wanted to go for a wee. And I said to our Ollie, just walk into the sea and pretend to fall. But I meant, like when it gets knee deep.
I know, Scotty.
Yeah, when she went in. Yeah. She went in, she got to her ankles and she just fell sideways. We're only up to her ankles. I was like, I'm not doing our Ollie's trick. And I went in up to my waist. And then I'm looking at John and I'm waving and I'm thinking, I'm shitting my Senia because I don't like the sea anyway. And even though at Galston, the sea's quite clear, you can see. Yeah. And I'm thinking, just hurry up and pee. Then I got in and I'm thinking, I can't pee now. I can't pee. And it were a night. Anyway, I ended up having a pee, and then I went and sat back out, and he says, have you peed? And I went, I have. I says, I didn't swim back through it though. Or like that with arms. Get away.
We once went to Greece to Zakynthos, and we went across to another hotel because their pool it were really nice. So I went around this pool, and I says to Afi, I need a wee. So says to this bloke, can you tell me where toilets are, please? So it showed me where they were. They were on beach. So I opened the door. I kid you not, there were an hole in fucking concrete floor. And I'm like, how am I supposed to pee into? I'm going to get all over my feet and everything. I was like, I can't. I was busting. I was like, I can't go there. And I ended up sneaking in this other hotel. I went to use it toilet. I was like, I can't pee in it all.
Oh,
Oh,
isn't it awful though when you can't go?
I think
I am
what
going to buy a
Equibus is
she
talking
wig.
about there. Are they
I'm
the
gonna buy a
pearl
she
divers,
wig.
Equibus? Those young lads that just jump off the boat without any equipment?
Yeah, that's what
Go pearl
Erkibis is
diving.
saying.
I couldn't do that.
Couldn't do
They're
that.
incredible, aren't they?
No.
They're a program. Do you know these people? I don't know how they do it. I don't know whether Erkibis is talking about same ones. But these people, and they live on boats. They're like sea people, and you know all the skin. You know it's salt on the skin. It's gone. But they've trained themselves. They can actually dive down. No, nothing on them. They dive to the bottom, and then they walk on the bottom of the ocean floor. They get the fish and then they just like come back up. And honest to God, it's amazing. I forgot what they're called,
No,
but it's there's a name for the culture that they're in, and it's absolutely
I've never
amazing.
seen that, Lindsay.
I
I
have to
Oh,
stop.
honest to
stop.
God,
you
you know,
do. It's really
put on when we
Incredible.
finish. Put on YouTube. I just put on YouTube the fishermen, I don't know,
people.
the sea people who can walk on bottom at sea, and it shows you. I mean, this old bloke, it must have been going on some years, and he just dove down, and you just sat. And what they've taught themselves from Deanna saw it on TV. Yeah, I think I saw it on telly. And what they taught themselves is all to do with the breathing, you know, before they go down.
Right.
And they make themselves lighter than air, is it? I don't know, to walk across bottom.
The idea
That's
of
right.
it surprised me.
There is a competitive deep dive. There is a competitive deep diving too. Oh yeah, I know there is. Kibis, I know that. Yeah, two different ones. But yeah, it's honestly, it's like, geez, walking on. Who wants to walk on sea floor? You know,
I'm Googling that.
but
I don't know.
all
I
night
bet
she's going to
it's
be
I'd love to be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it because I wouldn't dare do it and I'd probably die. But I'd love to be able to do it.
Yeah.
It turns
That's
out
like a
it's
right
really
experience.
Even
Yeah,
if I was
definitely.
in the water, I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
I'd be scared of drowning. I think that
If it's something their ancestors have done as well, you know, it'll just get taught, won't
the
it?
thing is, because it's an ancestors thing, it's not they obviously
Like a
they're
tradition.
saying that it's like their lung capacity and everything. It's like they're bred for it. Do you know? Obviously they're not, but they're trained from a young age to do it. But because it's generations, it's like Jesus. Just think though, if they can do that with their body and hold themselves down to literally walk on the seabed. What else? Because it's all to do with mind. That's what they said. It's all to do with mind. It's all to do with your breathing techniques. There's obviously
because if you go to water, first thing you do is panic, and then you're taking lots of short, deep breaths. You're going to run out of air.
Yeah. Night, Kaz.
Night, Kaz Sweets. The deepest dive ever on record is 1,082 feet, 332 meters, set by Hamed Gabar in 2014. Wow. Deanna's put they have women in Japan that dive down for oysters too. Yeah. I'll have an oyster when they come back up. I don't want the oyster, I just want the pearl.
Yeah.
I couldn't do an oyster. Oh. Have you ever done an oyster?
No, it just looks like slime.
Aphrodisiac.
But not again.
Aphrodisiac that had put me off anything. That with slime off that thing going down my throat, I'd spit.
I can't even eat mussels and cockles.
Oh no, I can have cockles. Don't mind.
Dirty.
And mussels, I don't mind mussels. I'll never cook them myself because I won't trust myself. I'd probably poison myself. But I will go to a restaurant and I have mussels in garlic and tomato sauce. And that's really nice, that. And then after I have a swordfish. I have swordfish.
No. I like that as well.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that.
Someone told me to try swordfish. She said it tastes like chicken. I says, I've never had chicken that rubbery.
No, I like the what is it? Swordfish.
I love swordfish.
That's really lovely.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't eat it now because I've had a look what a swordfish is. Would you know if you don't know what it looks like? then I don't mind. But the minute I know what something looks like, bar from beef, because I know what a cow looks like, but it's different because cows are bred to be eaten. Do you know? Pigs are bred to be eaten.
That makes it all right.
But fish are fish. And I know fish are bred to be eaten, but swordfish, do you know? I wouldn't eat a crocodile. Do you know? I couldn't eat kangaroo. I couldn't even eat a rabbit. I've ate a Bambi, but do you know? But all these different things that it were right funny. We'd gone to my auntie's, and my pop had not been long diagnosed with Parkinson's, and we'd gone to my auntie's barbecue. Well, my nan and sisters, let's just say they're well-off family. And their house that they got a swimming pool in the back garden, and it backed down onto one of rivers, going
lovely.
through. I think it were out. I'll tell you where it were out. I think it were out. Where does it begin? We are. What begins?
Where are we? North, south?
Not Repton. Retford way out. Retford way, I think it were. And it back down, and they got boat at bottom at garden on canal.
Oh, lovely.
And we'd gone there, and they got Bambi on spit going round.
Oh, no.
They were carving it off spit. Anyway, we Pop come across, and at this point he had to have his camera on tripod, because obviously with shaking and everything, it was just like somebody had thinking it. Anyway, he come across, and I stood next to him, and I says, "What you got?" He says, "I've got a Bambi sandwich." I says, "Have you?" And he went, "Yeah." He went, "It's alive! It's alive!" I didn't know bed.
My dad used to go out. Sorry, Lindsay.
So I said hello to Tracy. I hate eating fish.
My dad used to go out rabbit shooting when we were kids.
Eat a rabbit.
With pellet gun. And I remember my mum used to make rabbit stew, and you'd have to sit, no word of a lie, with a little plate outside you, because I don't know how many times he shot it, but you'd be like,
yeah, spitting it out.
Spitting pellets out.
Oh no. When I first started doing Slimming World years ago,
I couldn't eat one now. I would like Sarah. I couldn't eat one now, but yeah.
For a young bloke that used to come in, and he used to rabbit hunt, and he said £2.50 it were for a rabbit, and he'd skin it, and it comes, so you just got to cook it.
Yeah.
Anyway, he brought me this rabbit, and I went home, and I said, "How do I cook it?" So I said, "Just put it in slow cooker or wherever." So I put it in slow cooker. Well, do you know the smell? It was beautiful, from cooking and with veg and everything, lovely. I took lid off.
I couldn't eat one now.
No, I took the lid off, and I looked at it, and I just looked at kids, and I went, "We can't eat this." And I put lid back on, and I binned it, because I couldn't. I just couldn't. There was something about eating rabbit that I couldn't stomach. But yeah, isn't it funny how we'll eat different things?
Yeah,
and I know we've got your vegetarians, and we've got vegans and everything else, and it's all self-choice what we do. But isn't it funny how, like you say, you can look at a cow and you think, you don't mind eating a bit of beef. It's quite tasty, a bit of beef. Do you know what I mean? My mouth's watering for the taste of beef. I
think it's though, I have to forget where it came from, because if I sat and thought about it, I wouldn't eat it.
No, exactly. Do you know what I find interesting though? If I go into a shop and this is so stupid, and I see beef, I don't see cow.
Yeah. No, that's it. I see like Morrison's meat. It's Morrison's meat, or a butcher's meat. It's not an animal.
It's bacon, it's ham. It doesn't say pig. It's bacon, ham, whatever other joints from the pig, but it doesn't say pig. But when you've got lamb or you've got chicken, and it actually says the name of the animal.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
See, I like lamb. I like lamb. But isn't it for you, how your brain processes different foods? Do you know?
I do understand vegetarianism. I really do.
Oh, do you know what?
I want to be vegetarian, but I don't like veg. I would love to be vegetarian.
I think, to be honest, do you know, the older I'm getting, the more pickier I'm getting with food.
I am.
If that makes sense. It's sort of like Sunday roast is the best meal of the week. It is, Joe. It is.
Yeah.
That's the point. Why do we say pork beef and not pig or cow?
Exactly.
Because, Scotty, nobody would buy it. We'd have
Nobody would
everybody
eat
be
it.
vegetarian if they called it pig cow. But I can understand. I can seriously understand where people come from when they say. But to me, I just need a varied diet. You know, there's not enough protein for me, or for what my body would want. I couldn't give up bacon. I couldn't give up bacon.
Bacon's
I could possibly give up chicken because I could have corn. I don't mind corn chicken. But you can't get a fake bacon. I've tried it, and you can't get fake bacon. I used to.
John
eat
wants to know
pig's
if anyone's
feet.
eaten
Oh,
pig's feet or pig's tails.
no,
in the 70s.
No.
never. Our taste buds change with age. They do.
Oh, tripe. I've never eaten tripe.
Oh, have you ever cooked it?
No.
What?
I used to have when I was 17, 18, I had a staffy. And when I bought the staff, they said to me, you need to feed it tripe. That's what we've been feeding them on.
Oh,
Feed them tripe.
oh,
So I asked
no.
him how I did it. And he said, you have to go into town. He says, you go into town, you go to your market, and you go to your butchers, and you say, can you have a pound of tripe? Because there's different types of tripe, which I didn't realise.
God,
And
I
I
can
got
smell
the
it now.
tripe and I
You
went
keep
back.
saying it, and I can smell it.
I was cooking it in the, do you know, that stench was in my kitchen for about a fortnight. No matter what I did, I couldn't get I'd never fed it dog after that. I mean, I didn't even feed her that. I like chucked it out. I thought she can't eat that. And I went to
I can't even get tripe dog food.
No.
I've never had tripe, and I've never had. It's awful. Is it the same?
It's
I can't do any in it.
Do you know what?
Any in it?
But do you know what I do want to try? I want to try haggis.
Yes.
No.
Lovely. I like
I don't want to know what's in it.
It's
I don't
Yeah.
want to know what's in it.
Did you
To
like?
me, it's stuffing.
Joe Max said Reed and chips. Can't get it now. I don't know what Reed is. What's Reed?
It might be a misspell. And then she put with mustard and vinegar. Love tripe and stuff. Really, John? Do you still eat it now? Bleached belly it is. Haggis is nice.
My dad, my granddad, my dad's dad used to eat heart, pig's heart.
Yeah, I've had heart, but I wasn't
you?
told it was heart until I'd eaten it. Stuffed heart.
I have no heart.
I wasn't told.
What was it like?
Heart.
Heart.
Okay, I'm going to go back in time for you, Lana. It was lovely. And then my mum said to me, did you like your meal? And I said, yes, it was lovely. We all did. And she said, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to put you off because we change our opinion, but you've just eaten heart. And a little bit of
sick.
Yeah.
Whose heart, mummy? Whose heart?
Exactly. And I thought, but I used to love steak and kidney pie. Love steak and kidney pie.
I don't do kidney.
I used to cook
steak and kidney pie and pick out kidney.
Yeah.
Oh, Reed is like tripe, she says. Reed is the inside of a cow like
inside
tripe.
of a cow.
Okay, thanks, Joe.
No. Yes, in it.
No, I can't do
off this subject because I'm feeling sick.
She's gone.
What a subject to discuss at
I did used to like, though, which I didn't realise what it was. I used to love a fried up breakfast, and I'd always want black pudding with it. And then,
no!
And then I found out what black pudding was.
Yeah, I like
Doesn't
it.
bother me. Doesn't bother me.
I still eat it, but I couldn't believe the two were the same thing.
Yeah.
No, you can have white pudding as well. Have you ever tried white
I've
pudding?
never had that.
That's nice. That's nice.
True.
I don't know what that is because it's not
food.
I didn't ask. Just ate it.
Well,
this white pudding.
Remember I used to have white dog poo?
Yeah, you never see
what
that now
pudding
these
is.
days.
That's what white pudding is.
Oh,
No.
I'll never have that again then. Thanks, Claire.
Do you know, you just said something there. Do you know, when in 80s, if you were walking round, you'd see white dog poo everywhere. You would.
You don't see it anymore. apparently.
You don't see it anymore.
No,
you
do you know
don't
why?
see.
It off now, Claire.
Yeah, I think I do.
Apparently, the reason we don't see it anymore is because the dogs used to eat more bones back then, and it was the calcium and it would dry out, and it was the bone. And apparently, because we don't give dogs bone, and they have more tin food and.
I know somebody that ate that.
I've never ate it, but I did once pick a piece up for it, thinking it was like like a piece of chalk, like a stone, like you used to pick up to drop slowly. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's dirty. Do you know, going back to 80s, do you know, we're missing it all. Everybody's missed out. And the old kids have missed out
like
on
an Oxford, and you'd find like a stone, wouldn't you? A white stone. And yeah, it weren't.
We talk about ghosts now. We can. We can change the subject. We can change the yellow snow. That's a good tip. Never eat yellow snow. Unless you're cruel and you said to some poor kid, you know that yellow snow is the tastiest part of snow.
Don't forget chocolate chips.
Chocolate chips. Oh yeah, your chocolate chips. Evening, Anne. Hope you're well, my lovely.
Hiya.
So ladies. Hiya. I think it's been an eventful conversation tonight. I don't think we've had I don't think we've had
messages of people
to lower tone somewhere. I had to lower tone.
As long as we don't get photos, I'm not bothered.
Lemon flavoured tastes nice.
Oh dear me.
Oh dear. So,
oh gosh.
So, what have we got coming up then? Ladies?
Lindsay has said that she'll give me when she's doing tarot one day, that I'll sit by her side and see if I can have a go. Hi, Kelly.
Yay.
That'll be fun.
She might not be sat by my side.
Definitely.
She might be sat where she's sat there, you see. And
you can read to me, Yolanda.
Oh, thank you. That's kind of
definitely.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to.
Well, if I'm looking after you and John, I'll be by your side, love.
Well, you could. Yeah, you could. We can because we do it one day next week. But what we could do, what I'm thinking about doing is I'm going to let you I'm going to, like Cara do, pull somebody onto screen. Lana's got to come on and do hers yet. I'm going to put names onto the screen and just let Yolanda go with a gut feeling on the shuffle and give the card. And I'm going to sit with a clip on my mouth so I don't speak. Because I'm tempted to go, yeah, but yo, what about that, Leon? I can't do that because it's not my reading. From mediumship to metal to magnet fishing to diving to food to dog poo.
Our secretary Scotty boy there.
That is a class topic, a conversation.
Sorry.
That is a class topic, a conversation. But yes,
it always goes downhill.
At least it's not been Willie's. We've had a night off from Willie's, so we've had a night off from talking about cock, so that's quite a good one. I had to stop myself with what I pick up on when people are reading for people. You do, Joe. But yeah, so it is difficult, though, like Joe says, when people are doing readings and you're watching them online, it's very hard when you're in chat because you have to keep quiet, even if you can pick more up. You have to be quiet because it's not.
How about, as I'm going to be with you, if I read my version of events, and then I give you the card, and maybe you could sort of like finish off and tidy up the mess for me.
The thing is, because you're two different people, and you're both going to get different readings from that card.
But
you're never going to get the same. I would have thought you'd never get the same reading.
But no, what I mean, Claire, is you might get 2 minutes worth of reading off me. It might be minimal, whereas Lindsay might be able to give more.
No, because that's not that again.
No,
that's like what Claire's saying.
No,
it just
won't work. It has to be a different card.
It doesn't matter how long it takes.
Doesn't matter how quick it is either. Doesn't
like if you were staring at clouds, like you do sometimes on a nice sunny day, and you see all the shapes, and I'm like, oh, can you see a dog there? And you're like, no, but I can see a cow there. And I'm like, no, I can't see that.
Lindsay could pick up her card and do.
But you see different things, don't you?
Yeah, you do. but Lindsay could do a card for, because it's going to be a real bummer if, for example, Lana gets Lindsay and Claire, who didn't volunteer, gets me. You're going to think, oh, for God's sake.
No,
So
no,
Lindsay,
because
I do think Lindsay would be a nice
don't you
reward.
start off on members?
Huh?
Why don't you start off on members?
we could do it on members first and see how you
Yeah.
get on members for your
Yeah.
confidence, and then I'll just chuck you in at deep end. To be honest, you need to be thrown in at deep end in everything we do when it comes to a spiritual level.
Oh, Lindsay, I don't mind where I do it. I just thought that, you know, if I'm giving
No,
somebody
because again, with tarot cards, I do it when I'm doing readings for some people on here. Lorna will do it when she's doing her readings, and even with her drawings. Some drawing, Lorna might just get this clear image, and it'd be like, right, I can see this detail, this detail. She might do somebody else, and it might be, well, I can get outline at face, I can get the eyes right, I can get but she might not see definitive details within that one, but that person will still know who that person is. Do you know what I mean? It's different, isn't
Yeah,
it?
someone might get a long reading, someone might get a 5-minute reading, someone might get a 1-minute reading.
Someone might be
Those are
someone I
guinea
do.
pigs for me.
What's there? You're not going to sit there and drag that minute out to 5 minutes. You
Oh,
just say what you
when I'm
see.
doing
That
the
is
media
it.
shit.
No.
When I'm doing the
No.
media
That's
shit,
what I mean.
it's very, very short.
It don't matter how long it is.
It'll extend, Yolanda. So it's always practice and practice, practice, that's all.
And then you'll start seeing more and more and more.
Well, Joe's volunteered, so I've got 2 guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Whoever
Just
comes in
saying,
for a
Lana.
tarot reading and puts emojis is giving themselves up as a guinea pig, because I will just pull anybody. I won't just pull the people you know. And it's not just because you know the people, it's just because, again, we do a lot of chit-chatting in our chat. So when we're giving tarot readings off, we have to be very careful, because even though I'm sat here, I can see what's said in chat. I'm always watching me chat, and so I can bring people in.
See, I can't multitask like that.
No, you learn to do it. You learn to do it. So I can see what's
We're not
happening. So when I said we could be on like tonight, we're having a good laugh, we're having a chit chat.
Thanks, Scotty.
Joe could have put something in chat tonight. Oh, I took my daughter to cinema today, and we spilled popcorn all over, or a mishap happened. And I might do reading, and then tomorrow I might be reading for Joe. But in my head, I could say to her, something happened with popcorn, or something, there were a mishap somewhere. That's that coming in there. And this is why when you're reading, when you do your tarots, you have to, if I know that had have happened at the cinema and I saw it in the card, I would say no. Well, I wouldn't. I would acknowledge it because I've seen it. So it needs to be acknowledged. I would say,
yeah, but you wouldn't elaborate on it.
The day you were doing this, blah, 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 blah. It's there in your card. I can see it here. I can show up what signals I've seen, then turn it back, and then I continue with reading. Because if I don't give what I see, then it stops the rest of the reading coming through. So you do have to give it.
Yeah.
But you have to make sure you acknowledge that, and it's only like a split second that you're on it, because you need to move on. And that's how
I know I'm very slow.
Then you know that people are being genuine. We've got a question. First question of the evening. So, Lana, how can you control your abilities so it's not a constant?
You've got to learn to quieten the mind chatter, as I call it. You've got to be able to sort of allow it to drift to the back and pull it forward when you need it.
Yeah.
And the way in which I would suggest to do that is just by meditation, learning to relax yourself, and kind of, not always be looking for it. Just continue your day, do what you need to do, because you kind of, if you're focusing on it all the time, you're living in that dimension. You're not living in reality. So you need to live in the material world as well as, cope with the spiritual. So you've got to have that balance. And it's kind of the way in which I would kind of not focus on it all the time. I mean, it's a natural mechanism for me now. So if I need
natural, doesn't it? Yeah.
It becomes natural to use it when you need it. but you've just got to kind of learn to quieten the mind, meditate, and kind of let things drift. Because when you meditate, you're literally putting everything out of your mind. Even though you do get things coming through, meditation should be sort of a blank, as it were, that kind of state of quietness. And, it's kind of practice in that state.
Yo, how do you do it on your bit? How do you switch on and off?
Mine's meditation. I don't, unless I've gone into a meditative state, and when I come out of that meditative state, when we were at the Spirit Centre, and every time I've given a reading to somebody, I'm not with you. I'm not in the room. I'm out there somewhere. And what I see is I'm out there. And when I finished, I'm back in again. But when I'm out there, I find it so relaxing. I could stay. That girl sorry, everybody. I did a reading the other day. Lindsay knows I did a reading the other day for somebody. We were all doing a reading. We're in groups of 3. And I was very fortunate to have given this girl some information. She's not on Facebook. I don't know her. I've never met her before. And she said afterwards, you gave me stuff that I haven't even told my husband. So it was very encouraging because I'm learning.
Good. That's brilliant.
But when I was talking to her, like you just described, Lana, I'm out in my meditative state. I'm not really back in the room. And I could have waffled and said the same thing in different formats. I didn't want to come back. But in the end, I said to her, look, I'm really sorry. That's all I've got for you. I could keep talking about it. I've got to close. I didn't get any more than I got, but I didn't want to come back. So it was, like Lana said, for me, that's my experience.
Yeah. Claire?
Well, I really got any.
Forward. Well, this is it. Are you looking forward to what's
I'm
coming
looking forward. I mean, only thing that obviously I'm empathic, that's it, and I can't control it, as you know, at the minute. That's I'm struggling with that, but
that's what you'll learn to control.
That's what I'm wanting to do because it drives me nuts.
But it's funny, but it's good because what you learn in these classes is you'll not only learn how to control that empathic, the empathic side of you. You will learn so much more, and it's like it's just unbelievable where it leads to and what other things that you can start bringing in. I mean, somebody once said to me, I can't wait for you to start. Somebody once said to me, how do you do it when you're tarot reading? And I can't explain it. I meditate before I do my tarots. It might sometimes, hey Denise, it might only be.
Hi Denise.
It might only be that I might meditate for a minute or 2 minutes, depending on how much time I've given me. But I'm that used to work with the energies I work with the tarot. I only need that quickness now. I don't need to do it for 10 minutes like I used to. It's gone down in time. I could sit here now, close my eyes. 2 minutes, I could pick my cards up and start reading because it's that simple.
That's amazing.
It is.
But it's like Yolanda said. When I do a tarot reading, I'm at the side of me. When I finish when I finish for that one person, when I come out, when I've read for that, I snap out while I'm looking for the next person. Then I put the next person in, and it's like you've jumped again. So I know that I can do that, but it's everything else that comes. Can anyone tell me why every morning I wake up, I have scratches on my face and more across my cheeks? I'm going to ask you a normal question, John. Is there any pets in the house? Do you have sharp nails? Because sometimes I'm not saying you're doing it to yourself because nobody would intentionally do that. But, sometimes at night you can scratch, you wouldn't know, and then you can wake up with your scratch marks.
Bracelets on and you kind of putting your hands across your face. You don't know what to do when you sleep. That's the case, but
if it was me and it was happening to me, I would video myself sleeping to see whether it was my hand that was doing it, and I weren't waking up when I were scratching. I mean, I did it to myself other day. I woke up and I says to John, I've got scratches on my back. And he went, Lindsay, he says, you were like, you got ants in your bed last night. And I went, why? He says, because for every 2 minutes you were like this on your back and this on your back. And obviously, I mean, my nails aren't long, but they can be quite sharp. And he says, you just constant. And I think what it were, because obviously with menopause, you go through your itch, you get the itching, and I think that's what were happening. But I was asleep and I didn't even wake up, and I'd drawn blood. I'd drawn blood on my back. And
I've done it myself, you know, like when eczema's come out. And I've like in my sleep been scratching, and I woke up and like I've got like blood scratch marks all up my legs.
Yeah, but my advice
I've
on
done
that
it.
would be, if you can't put it down to something that you're doing, or something that if you've got a partner, could be a lady in bed, you don't know, John. But if it's not down to
myself, if you put like gloves on or something, some mittens on.
You could try mittens, but again, for me, I think my preference would be is I'd put the camera on, and it didn't happen. And then if it didn't happen, I did a video overnight and still scratched. So if you've done your video overnight and you know that it's nothing that you're doing, then obviously there's something around you that's either trying to get your attention, because they're scratching, they're not waking up, you're not waking up with it, you're not feeling frightened when you woke up, you're not getting disturbed in your sleep. So maybe there is just an energy that is trying to get, you're ignoring the energy. You're ignoring something that you need to be paying more attention to. Listen to your dream.
Does anything else happen in the house? Is it just when you go to bed?
It's on YouTube, so it'll be like this, and we'll have a quick answer. With Facebook, you've got a couple of delays. But with YouTube, it's like bump and it's back on. That'd be interesting if there's other things happening within the household, or if it is just when he's sleeping.
I've just seen Deanna's comment up there. It was when we were talking about what we do and how we feel.
Sorry, Deanna, I missed that one. Just at night time, Lana.
All right.
When I do it, I hold someone's hand, spirit talks to me from my right side.
I thought that was interesting, because every time I see anything, it's always over. I see it over the left shoulder. In other words, your right shoulder. I always see the person there. So it was interesting then when Dan said from the right side. It's interesting how everyone.
Do you see it from right side, Lana, or do you see?
Well, it's different for me because we all work differently, don't we?
Yeah, well, you do. I mean, for me, I'll probably see it floating down from the sky. So just at night then. So for me, I think my advice for you on that one, and I'll go around everybody's advice, what we'd all advise, because everybody's advice could be different. For me at night, I would possibly look for some sort of protection on crystals and have crystal protection around me at night. So maybe I think it's obsidian or tourmaline, because that takes out the negative energy. I would probably look at having some, I call it I love the purple one, amethyst. I would probably have amethyst coming in there, and some clear quartz maybe, because that's an all-rounder. And I would even look at maybe putting, as long as it don't get on your chest, if it does, you'd have to do it prior. Before you go to bed, I would open a window and I would put a sage stick on, an incense stick in bedroom prior. And just as I'm doing it, lay that intent that any energies, unwelcome energies in this room, they must leave. Any that's left must go into the crystals, and put that intent out there. And I think that's where I'd advise first, to see if that made a difference. Because I think it's we had our home blessed in the 90s. It was active, so it could be that it were a long time ago, 90s. So maybe you've slacked off a little bit on continuing the protection that you used to do. Because I do know that once you've had your house blessed, you can't just leave it with that blessing. It's a ritual you have to do weekly, daily. So many rituals that you have to do. I mean, I don't know if Lorna might know different, but that's what I heard, that once you've had a blessing in a house, then you have to continue them blessings daily after that, because that also helps keep it at bay. But for me, I would start with the crystals. I would start with putting some incense sticks on around the home then, and I would be looking for the setting the intent that negativity and welcoming the home. So I'd surround my home with a bubble of love. So anything that protrudes it is engulfed in love. So nothing negative can come through a loving dome kind of thing. Yeah. It's a shield. It's what I, before we go investigating, or before when we go to church, we always surround ourselves with love first, because if you surround yourself with love, anything coming from me is sent with love. Anything coming in will only get through if it accepts the love, otherwise it won't get through. So the negative would rebound off that. So that's another one. Go on, Lorna, I'm going to come to you for this one.
Oh, for some advice.
Yeah.
You can do visualization, and if you, just like Lindsay mentioned about the bubble, you can try other things, like if you prefer to, depends on what you prefer to sort of visualize. So you might find it easier to visualize literally a shield that is a shiny shield all over you, you know, from head to toe. And whatever comes near you will bounce back off. So it's, when we say shield, that's kind of where it comes from, because you can put a shield up or a mirror so that it bounces back. Definitely intent, prayer. I would suggest prayer, but it depends what your belief system is. And use mantra or prayer according to what you believe in. All the same things really that Lindsay said. The crystals, I would use selenite as well, because
selenite, yeah,
is a very good beside the bed for negative energy. It will absorb that. So, you know, there are various things that you can actually do to help kind of detract that.
Put plus the dark quartz, smoky quartz into it. Yo-yo.
Well, I am clueless. I mean, I'm listening to your knowledge and you're knowledgeable. I'm not. When it comes to that, I don't have the knowledge. But one thing I'd be intrigued about is what's doing it. And please forgive my ignorance. I'm not taking the piss. I mean this genuinely. I'd want to put, if you were constantly getting scratched here, for example, I'd put micropore surgical tape over that area before I went to bed. And I'd want to see if the scratches went through the plaster.
You'd look at the testing theory of it then.
Yeah. So I can't advise you because I don't have the knowledge. So I'd prefer not to say anything.
That's okay.
But,
Claire?
But that, I'd be interested in that.
Basically everything you've said. Cleansing the house, protection, meditation, intent, and basically everything that you've covered.
But you know, one thing Lana did pick up on,
definitely prayer.
You know, for you, when you said about your the empathy and the draining with vampires, maybe the good one you could have is what Lana said then. Instead of it being the love, have it as a mirror.
Shield.
Have it as a shield, you know, like a mirror. So then, because the mirror, it's just going to give back to them, especially if they're
bounce back, and it does work.
Maybe that's.
I mean, there's a few people, but not as many as the vampires. But there's a few people are quite. You can tell as soon as I see them, it's like, yes, come here. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like we feed off each other. It's like I give, they give, I give, they give. And I just feel like I've been to gym and done a good workout, and I've got all this adrenaline and all this, you know, really good feeling. And it's like they're not as often as vampires.
And also, just to sort of add to that, was if there's anything in the room, like an item, an object that's being given to you, how long ago did this happen from? And if you can kind of set your mind back to when it started, Were you given a certain thing that you've got in your bedroom? Is there something that's kind of an item that's old, that has some history attached to it, or did it come from somebody else?
As daft as it sounds, though, Lorna, it's like I could give something to Yolanda or Claire, and that energy that goes with it might not be suited for around them. And they might start. I don't know. I might give Claire. Let's see what I can give Claire.
I'm gonna give you a bell.
I might give Claire this tarot pack. So I could give Claire this tarot pack, but along with that, the energy attached to that could be an energy that it was not suitable to Claire, and it could start causing Claire issues. And like you said, Lorna, it's like looking back to as somebody bought him like a little trinket that you put in your bedroom, or as he bought a piece of jewellery.
It can even be a boot. It can be a boot that you got from, you know,
like not forever, but a long time. I can't even remember how long it's been. A long time, but I've never accepted what it is. I've never wanted to put a name to what it is because I thought people would laugh at me. But when I say vampires, it's not constantly, Lorna. It's not like don't get me wrong. If you were upset now, I'd feel that. Do you know what I mean? But it's not like you're draining me energy. I'm just feeling what you're feeling.
Yeah.
So it's not that everybody drains me, but the people that do. And there's some that walk into my shop and it's like, I just have to go.
Yeah.
If I see him, I know what's coming. I look, I'm just drained and I feel shit. It's them that I need to. I don't mind feeling everybody else's emotions.
No, but
it's that when they start draining me. It's the ones that
feeling.
You've got to put a block on that.
Yeah, that's the ones I want. So it's not like it's like a dark thing that's over me, and everybody affects me that way. It's just certain people don't realise they're doing it, and they just drain me. And I feel like I want to commit suicide. Do you know what I mean? I'm really like, oh my God, I've had enough, and I need to stop that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get myself in a better place, which I am, but then it's like I'm back down there again, and then my own problems and my own feelings start creeping in, and I just end up in that dark place again.
Yeah,
maybe having some selenite in shop, like a salt, even if it's like a Himalayan salt lamp. Again, the Himalayan and the I'm going to call it cellulite.
I keep calling it cellulite in my head.
Cellulite. But selenite. Even getting one of them maybe in shop. Don't even have to be a big one, but just enough around the counter. So it's sort of like it's got that space covered. So when you're behind that counter, because they're supposed to, I mean, you can feel energy difference when you've got them on. But they could like
one of the vampires comes in and he'll set it, and I mean he's a good friend. Through work, from being a customer, I mean, when I say good friend, I don't talk to him every day, but he's a good friend. And he'll come in and he'll say, you know what, I love coming in here because I always go out feeling right, energized, and I think, because you've got my energy.
You've took my energy. Certain people pulling.
I agree with what Scottish said.
Certain people pulling you down, and then your own feelings pile on and keep you down, reversing all your progress on your own feelings and mindset.
Exactly.
Deanna's
put some down, and all your crap goes on top, and
gone through all of that. It's awful, when you start and you kind of you haven't reached that kind of stage of working with spirit yet, but you've got that empathy, you're empathic, you feel everything. And I do still, there's certain shops I'll go in and I'll come straight back out. Or there's certain you become very, very sensitive to the energies that even if you go into a secondhand shop, certain items,
I believe
I can't go around those places. Sometimes I've got to come back out. So you kind of put up, when you sense that energy coming in, or you know who they are, you put that shield up, and you allow that mirror to bounce back to them, so that energy will go back to them.
Yeah.
And then you'll become used to it.
You could also say a little, you can, again, it's the intent, but you can say things like, I don't know, about something to do with the energy being taken. If it's not being given and it's taken, then they're to feel the drainage and give you your energy back if they're taking it. Do you know what I mean? As though, I don't know, I'd have to have a look at that, but there's got to be some kind of saying to do it. So, my lovely ladies, it is.
Can I just answer Anne's question, because you put it a while ago? If you had watched Charmed, what powers would you love to have?
Oh, if I watched Charmed, I would like.
I don't like that one where you throw people to one side.
Yeah, Piper's. That's Piper's power, isn't it? She just
is
Piper's
like that. Power. I'd love that. There's a few people
where she can like just go places, like you know, the white light a bit, the white light away,
like the white light.
Yeah.
So hang on, they were Prue, Phoebe, and.
Thanks, Deanna. I'm gonna try that.
Hang on, Prue was the first one.
Phoebe.
Then there were Phoebe, and then Piper.
And then
you could freeze. She could freeze, couldn't she?
There was another one, wasn't there?
And then after Prue died, there was the other one that come in.
Oh, what was she?
That's the one that was the white lighter.
She would have been a P name as well.
Yeah.
She'd have been a P name as well, because they were all P's, weren't they?
Something, Johnny. Paige.
Paige. That's it, Paige.
That's weird. Claire and Lana are on my bottom screen, and when you were trying to think of the names, both your heads at the same time went like that to presumably speak to somebody on that side. Both your heads like that, went like that, and then you both came back together as if you were in the same room talking to one person. That looks so weird.
There's nobody here.
I don't know. Well, thank you so much to everybody that's joined us tonight. I am going to get John to bed because he's laid behind me on the sofa. I'm going to say thank you for everybody joining us. I hope you've enjoyed tonight. We have had a bit of a mixed match of conversation, but we didn't have a topic tonight. So we've just sort of gone with the flow. So you've had real insights on a lot of things, especially poop. White poop. White poop. I'm going to let Yo-Yo, do you want to say goodbye?
Bye, everyone. Have a lovely night.
Good night, everyone. Take care.
No.
Good night, everyone. Take care.
Take care, everybody. Sweet dreams, and we shall see you all tomorrow. Much love, and see you soon.